Hello everyone and welcome to my new video of how to make your own Discord bot in Python. So let's get started. So guys, in today's video we're gonna make gamble and slots command in discord.py. So let's get into it. So just a quick recap, we had three functions, one named add through which we can add or subtract balance of the user, second was get to get the data of the user, and third was check to check if the user's entry exists in the database. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the gamble command, which is going to be pretty straightforward, just a bit too long, so let's get into it. So firstly we're going to make commands.command. You can make some aliases if you want. I'm going to pick them for now and I'm going to say async dev gamble. It will be self ctx and it will have amount will be an integer type and its default value is going to be 2000. You can set it according to yourself. Now first of all we're going to check the data of the user, like if the account of the user exists. So we're going to say await self.check. Now before checking the account of the user, what we can do is we can define a variable which will be named id, and it's going to be ctx.author.id because we are going to use this variable quite a lot of times. So I'm just going to pass the id variable in the self.check, and after that we're going to check if the amount is less than 200. Basically if the amount is less than 200, then I'm just going to say return await ctx.send embed is equal to discord.embed. You need to bet at least 200 and we're going to just send a money bag emote in slots, and we're gonna have discard.color.red as the embed color. Now we're gonna get the user's balance. So the balance is gonna be money. Firstly we're gonna get the user, and user will be await self.get, and we're gonna pass the id, and money will be my user first index. So in the database the first index stands for the money. Now we're gonna check if the user has that much money. So we're gonna say if money is less than amount, meaning the user does not have that much amount, then we're just going to return await ctx.send embed is equal to discord.embed. You don't have this much balance in your account, expressionless. Yeah. And again this is going to be a discord.color.red. Now if you don't know what exactly gamble is, so there are two strikes. It's just totally based on random gamble. So you will have some strikes and the bot will have some strikes because you will be playing gambling with the bot, and if you have more strikes than the bot, then you earn some certain amount of money. So I'm gonna set a description to gamble money to get a return from 50 to 100%. I'm gonna totally explain the algorithm of winning, and you will lose money if the bot gets more strikes than you. My strikes, or user strikes, sounds more better, and it will be my random.randint from 1 to 14, while the bot strikes will be random.randint from 3 to 14. So the bot will have more probability of winning. So this is just a slight difference in the probability, nothing much different, and you need to import random modules. Just make sure of that. Now we're simply going to check if user strikes is more than the bot strikes. If it is more, then the user is winning. So we're going to say percent, like the certain amount of percent the user is winning. Like here we have said 50 to 100%, right? So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say random.randint 50 to 100 as I said in the description. Now I'm going to say amount 1. Amount 1 will be just my integer, and it will be my amount which is gambled by the user, and I'm going to multiply it with the percent divided by 100. So this is just basic mathematics, and we get the amount 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just add it to the user's account balance. So I'm going to say self.add. I'm going to pass the id, then the amount 1. Now we're going to again get the user's data. So I'm going to say user is equal to, like, just the same thing, and now we're going to define an embed. So embed is equal to, so I'm going to set a description which is going to be an f string. I'm going to quickly type all of it. So I've just said u1 amount 1 in bold, and then the money bag emote, then %1% in bold, and then the new balance which is user and index 1. As you can see, I had to refetch the user to get the latest balance, and after that I'm just gonna set the color of the embed, which is just random, and now I'm gonna set the author. So I'm gonna say embed.setAuthor, and this author will be just wow seems like ctx.author.name plays well, just a rhetoric line, no direct meaning, and then we're gonna have the icon URL as a ctx.author.avatar URL. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create an elif statement when the user strikes is less than bot strikes, meaning the user has lost. I recall I said the percent for the loss percentage will be different, and it's going to be less because since the bot has more chances of winning, as you can see from the range. So I'm going to say random.random. This is basically going to be the loss percentage, and it's going to range from 0 to 80. Now I'm going to say amount loss. Amount loss will be just my, again, this integer amount into my percent by 100. Yeah, so amount lost, and then I'm just going to say await self.add my ID and then the percent, basically negative of my amount lost. Now simply I'm again gonna fetch the user, and then I'm gonna define an embed, and I've just said discard.embed description, you lost, amount lost, money bag emote, and then percent lost percent, the new balance, which is gonna be the refetched balance of the user, and money bag emote. Yeah, pretty much makes sense. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna set the author. So author is simply gonna be embed, yeah, embed.set author, crapplake cdx.author.name, and then icon url, just everything just the same, just to ensure that the user has lost, just to signify that, and make sure to indent it. I forgot that. Yeah, and we're gonna have an else condition. Now this else condition means that both of the users have got a tiebreaker. Tiebreaker is when both of the users have got the same number of strikes. Again, this is gonna be pretty similar. Yeah, so it is just embed is equal to discard.embed. Description will be three double quotations. It was a tie, and that is all. And I've just given an extra line space so that it looks a bit neat, and then I have the discard.color.random, and I have set it the author in tie. It is just saying tie, and then the avatar url of the user. Now the strikes will be embed.add field. The name is gonna be just a double quotation. It will be an f string. It will have this, and we're gonna have the ctx.author.name.title, ctx.author.name dot title. Value will be the number of strikes the user got. It will again be an f string, and it will say strikes, and strikes will be just my number of strikes, so it will be user strike. Similarly, I'm gonna just copy it, paste it right over, and change it to self.bot.user.name.title, and similarly just gonna change this to bot strikes. Now after that, you can just add in timestamp, and then you can just send it to the cdx. Yeah, so this function, I guess, pretty much makes sense. So let's test it out, I guess. Alright, so the bot is running. Let's hope there are no errors. I really hate it when it comes. All right. So I lost 1040%, loss was 52%, new balance. Now let me gamble again. As you can see, I got 4 strikes. YouTube is the name of the bot. Yeah, it got 14 strikes. Now I'm gonna gamble again, and I again lost. All right, so I finally won. As you can see, I got 1380, and I got the 69%. Oh, that was quite great. I got 69% won. The new balance is my this. I got 9 strikes. The bot got 7 strikes. And if you think you are losing a little bit more, then what you can do is you can just change the algorithm. As you can see, I've set it to 1 to 14 and 3 to 14. You can maybe make it 3 only, or maybe make it 1. I'm gonna just go with this because I don't like many people winning. Fine, now we're gonna create the slots command. Now the slots command is gonna be pretty simple, and it's gonna be pretty straightforward. So we're gonna say commands.command. It will have an aliases, basically 2 aliases. We can say slot, just slot. You can have as many as you want, and I'm gonna say async def slots. The parameters are going to be the same, ctx, and the amount, which is going to be integer, and its default value is going to be 2000. And after that, I'm just going to copy paste because rest all of the stuff is easy. I can say this till, yep, all of the stuff is exactly the same, just we're gonna have a description. So description is gonna be bet money in slots to get a chance to win 9x return or lose all. So the algorithm is gonna be pretty sick. The point is that the winning probability in slots is gonna be 1:9. If you don't know what slots is, so slots is basically a machine in which if all of the characters in the machine comes equal, then we win. So in our algorithm, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna simply have 3 emoticons, and if all of the 3 emoticons are same in each section, then the person wins. Now the probability of this is 1:9 because total outcomes are 27, and the person can only win in 3 conditions. When basically, yes, that is how it is. We can even make it something like 20, because if the person wants to win, then it's going to be really difficult. We're going to loop through. We're going to say for I in my range. Since we have 3 items, we're going to just say till the range 3. Now what we need to do is we need to get a certain outcome. So outcome will be my random dot choice, and I'll have a list. So as you can see, we have 3 emoticons, which is coin, money mouth, money with wings. So out of these 3, we're gonna add all of them to one list, which will be named as outcomes. We're just gonna append the outcome to the outcomes. We're gonna say append outcome. Now we have our outcomes. Now we're just gonna check if all of the outcomes are same. So I'm gonna say outcomes. If all of them are equal, I'm gonna say await self dot add. We're gonna just pass the ID and then the amount, and amount will be amount into 20, because it is really rare. I had the practical, and 1:9 is not an equitable probability. Now we're gonna get the user data again. We're gonna say await self.get ID, and we're gonna simply define an embed. So the embed will be just embed is equal to discord.embed, and we are gonna join the outcomes with a certain space between them. As you can see, outcomes is just the list, and description will be voila cdx.author.mention have one amount into, I guess now it should be 20, money back by slots, and total money will be user and index 1. As you can see, index 1 stands for the money of the user. So this user data contains all of the data, and we're just gonna get the money. Now in the else condition, meaning the user loss, which is going to be the most likely thing, then we're going to say await self dot add ID and amount. Basically we're going to say the negative of the amount. So negative of amount is just subtracting the amount, right? User await self dot get. I'm going to copy this because it is going to be exactly the same, just a few changes. We're going to send the outcomes. We're going to say oopsie, have lost amount to just amount not into 20, money back by slots. Now outside the indentation, I've just set the thumbnail, I've set the timestamp, I've set the color. These are just the usual miscellaneous things. You can add them if you want to, not necessary. And then we're gonna just say await cdx.send m, which is the name of the embed. Pretty much clear. Let's test them out. Yeah, let me first check my balance. Alright, my balance is some heavy digit. I'm just gonna slot all of them. Maybe leave myself with 2100. Yeah, I guess. Alright, I have lost them all. Now my account, as you can see, my new balance is just 2111. Now I'm gonna slot again. So I'm just gonna say slot, and as you can see, I lost again. So if all of the outcomes are same, then you'll get into 20 money, because it is really rare. If you have played slots in real time, then it's like once in a blue moon, because in real life too, that is almost insane to happen. So yeah, I guess that is pretty much for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, subscribe and share for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.